Question for you this morning. It's about how you shop, basically. High street or retail park? Maybe both. I mean, some people maybe go to both or have a preference because there seems like there's been a change in the way that we operate and how we shop.
I think that retail parks are convenient, aren't they? They're convenient, but they're not necessarily... They don't necessarily give you a sense of warmth. They kind of feel a little soulless.
What are the figures telling us? Leaving aside the emotions, what about the figures?
Well, look, retail parks aren't new, are they? But they kind of had their moment during the pandemic, click and collect, more of us driving to places. But it's interesting you say about sort of them being soulless, Naga, because I think what these figures today are showing are that the types of places that are in retail parks are really changing. And actually, perhaps it's more coffee shops, more food outlets, more places for people to gather at retail parks, kind of replacing what the high street would have done.
Which is a shame for the high street often.
Yes, yeah. I mean, our high streets are changing. You know, obviously there's sort of more of sort of maybe event-based sort of businesses going into the high street. But what it does show is that we still have a desire to go to actual shops. You know, it's not just all about online.
And you're taking a closer look at
I'll tell you all of that now, yes. Good morning, everyone. We talk about the growth of online shopping, as we were talking about there. We often talk about that in the same time as talking about problems for physical retailers. But what I was saying is new figures today suggest there is money to be made, but it might depend where the store is located. So there are now more than 1,000 retail parks in the UK. They're often a bit further out of town than the high street, but with lots of parking options, convenient, as Charlie says. Now, when it comes to retailers doing well this year, it's food outlets, supermarkets and coffee shop chains leading the way in terms of new openings. Where are they choosing to locate? Well, more than 80% of these openings happened in a retail park. In fact, while there are about the same number of high street openings as there were closures so far this year, when it comes to retail parks, more stores appeared than disappeared. My colleague Emma Simpson has been looking at what's going on.
Bolton. It's a good place to chart the rise of the retail park. It's got 5 of them, and this one is the biggest in the country, where units don't stay empty for long. This American fast food chain has just moved in. A business that's got a big appetite to grow.
We're going to open up another 150 stores in the UK over the next years to come. The retail park piece is a big part of our future expansion plans, but we're going to go where the customer is.
And many of them are changing their shopping habits.
Out of town is doing better than our high street or shopping centres. And when I talk about out of town, I mean drive-throughs, I mean petrol forecourts, as well as retail parks. And really they're doing so well, it's because of the way we live and shop.
It's the easiness of coming with the trolley and just going to the car and putting it in your car boot. When you get to our age, ease is the important thing, you see.
In some places you can pay up to £10 a day for parking. Here it's free, so it makes a big difference at the moment.
Do you do shopping anywhere else now?
Online.
Online or a retail park?
Yeah, or friends with a local business.
It's lunchtime and this place is busy. Retail parks really arrived in the UK in the 1990s, and we didn't think much of them at first, but boy, do we like them now. And this man knows everything about them. Hello, James.
Hello there. We lease and manage a big percentage of the UK's retail warehousing floor space, and I've been doing it for 25 years. 6 or 7 years ago, things started changing quite quickly. It was really the arrival of the big German discounters Aldi and Lidl. You know, that's what a lot of the consumers come here for, is discount operators.
Is that because retail parks are less expensive to be in?
Absolutely.
Oh look, a drive-through. Should we have a quick coffee?
Perfect.
One without sugar.
Oh, that's lovely.
Thank you.
That's handy, isn't it?
That's great. I think that we'll probably get between 300 and 400 drive-throughs built throughout the nation over the course of the year. Yeah, we're seeing...
Wow, that's a lot.
We're seeing them being built weekly on retail parks throughout the country at the moment.
And a few miles down the road, a much smaller, typical retail park. These big boxes are more than just shops.
There's another part to this. It's the ability to click and collect and return. So it's really a hybrid between a shop and a logistics unit.
So these are mini distribution centres?
They are. That's how the retailers are using them.
They may not be exciting, but retail parks are thriving in these challenging times. Emma Simpson, BBC News, Greater Manchester.
Plenty of retail park fans speaking to Emma there. Of course, they're not for everyone. They can be more difficult to access for people without a car, for example. And as we were saying before that, VT from Emma, there are concerns about the number of stores continuing to close on local high streets. But Naga and Charlie, it shows online shopping isn't totally killing our demand for sort of bricks and mortar shops. We still love a trip to the shops, wherever they may be.
Sometimes. Thanks,
Some.
Peter. Thanks, Peter.